It's Mock Draft Monday. There are 25 days left to the NFL draft, and this is going to be the most realistic 49ers mock draft alive. Stick around, smash that like button, and let's get these 7 rounds going. What's going on, 49ers faithful? It's your boy, the WayneBreezie, and it's Mock Draft Monday. That's right, get ready for the sounds of Mock Draft Monday. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, all right? Click on subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you want to support the stream, go ahead and join the Breezie Bunch crew. We are brought to you by my brand, the one and only Residency, where you see some of the coolest hats with the dopest athletes rocking the apparel. So go ahead to www.residency.com, use the promo code SFBreezie, and save on your total purchase. Let's go ahead and get to this Mock Draft Monday. All right. So look, we're going to try to make this as most realistic as possible with 25 days left to the draft, which means, let's see, I feel like I have maybe 3. Let me just take a quick look at my calendar here. Let's see. Today's the 31st of March. So I have 1, 2, 3. I got 4 more mock drafts to give to you guys. So let's get to it, baby. Let's not waste any time. San Francisco 49ers have 11 picks in this draft, tied for the most with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'm all about the top 100 picks. You guys already know that by now. If you've been watching my mock drafts, check out some of the oldest episodes. But I'm all about the top 100 picks. I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers try to move up, and I know the faithful will not like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to move back up into round 1. I'm kind of getting those 2020 vibes from this particular mock draft, where the 49ers may try to get 2 first-round picks out of the deal. So let's see how this plays for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, if you go back to that mock draft, they drafted Javon Kinlaw first, and then they traded back and got a wide receiver, which was Brandon Ayuk. The 49ers drafted Javon Kinlaw with the 14th pick. So we currently have the 11th pick, and let's just see if it is possible, all right, to move back up into the first round. All right, let's just see if it's possible. Maybe later in the first round, we could try to trade back in and get that top, player from a different position, depending on who's available on the board. Now, I don't think the 49ers are going to trade Brandon Ayuk. I understand that April 1st, the guarantee money comes in, which is the cash out of Jed York's pocket. The owners are at the owners' meetings on today, but I just feel like the 49ers are going to keep Brandon Ayuk on board. That is their number 1 wide receiver. All right. Now, as far as position needs, we definitely need offensive line help. I don't know if we need it early in the draft. I do understand that those top guys, Armand Membu, Will Campbell, and Kelvin Banks, are probably the top tackles that you would want to draft in round 1. And right now, Kelvin Banks is still available. All right, he's still available, okay? Now, where is he going to land? That depends on the board. All right, now, if you want to check out my all-32-team mock draft, be my guest, where I play 32 different general managers. And sometimes I have a guest on occasionally. We'll go back and forth, which is pretty cool. This week, I believe Moses is going to be on with me. We're going to be doing that 32-team mock draft again. Now, linebacker need, for me, there's a linebacker need. And the question is, who's the number 1 linebacker for the 49ers? For me, it's Jai Campbell. For most of the faithful out there, you guys love Jalen Walker. He could play off-ball linebacker. He's actually a better linebacker off the edge. If the Niners are looking to change things up a little bit, like a 3-3-5 front when they come out in that nickel package, they go 3 defensive linemen, you know what I'm saying? And, the 3-3-5, excuse me. Did I say 3-5-5? 3-3-5, three defensive linemen, 3 linebacker packages, and then the 5 DBs. That could be a look that they use in their nickel package, especially if they feel like they can keep a guy on the football field like a Jalen Walker or a Jai Campbell. So for me, I think realistically, the Niners are going to draft. Now, I don't know if they go linebacker first. I feel like their tackle is gone. Jalen Walker is there. He's projected to go 28th. All right, he's projected to go 28th. But right now, the talks to me is going to be, it's going to scream edge for me. And I know defensive tackle is the position everybody wants to address first. And I want to get to the pick, but it's a little bit difficult because I'm looking at two defensive tackles right here that I feel like are worthy to be drafted in the first round. Four of them I have first round grades on. All right, which is Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, Darius Alexander. I have first round grades on all four of those tackles. I try to think of which tackle the 49ers would fit the 49ers best. Everybody wants to go with the big guy in the middle. I just don't feel like that's the 49ers style. So as much as I love Kenneth Grant, I kind of pass up on Kenneth Grant because I just don't feel like, now he is hella athletic. I will put that out there. Hella athletic at 330 plus. He's almost 340 pounds, but the kid can move. But Walter Nolan just seems like the surefire pick for me. I just don't know if I want to go ahead and reach and get him at 11. If I'm looking to trade back into the first round, though, that is a possibility. And then again, just looking at the offensive line, and like I said, I want to really try to make this as most realistic as possible, okay? Most realistic as possible. What will it cost the 49ers to move back into the first round? We're going to play around with that using the simulator, okay? That's how I'm going to do it. Josh Simmons is there. Did not work out. Still recovering from the knee injury. He did do some exercises at his pro day and some half-pace type of drills. Nothing strenuous on the knee, but he wasn't wearing a knee brace, so that's something important. He can be improving. Kelvin Banks Jr., first-round grade. Gray Zabel, first-round grade. So I have grades on those. Gray Zabel will be the utility guy you could use on the offensive line. Kelvin Banks will probably be the most ready right now. But do the 49ers need an offensive lineman right now? I feel like the offensive line, it's not secured, but it's definitely stable. All right. Can they upgrade there? For sure. They can upgrade there for sure. But at pick 11, you really want to get that player that's going to be able to come in day one and be an impact player. And I know there are red flags around this guy, but Mike Green, I feel like you got to give Nick Bosa the counterpart help. Now, he is not your typical 49ers defensive edge, right? He's going to be the guy that's going to rush off the side. When I go back to the 2000 and what season was that? 2019 season. And they had D Ford, who was about 252, 6'5", 252. I believe that was his height. They were trying to create or generate the speed at the Leo position, and then you had your stable of Nick Bosa. I feel like we're going to get a little bit of resemblance or replication of that this year. That's why I don't think they go right away. If they go edge, they don't go for the same prototypical size of the Nick Bosa, the 264, the 6'5", 264, 6'4", 264. I believe that's Nick Bosa's height. I think they go for a guy that's going to give them some speed off the edge, speed to power. When I look at the best edge rusher here, which is about around my time to the pick, 7 minutes I think you get for that first round pick, I feel like the speed to power ratio is there. All right, the speed to power ratio is there. Is he light? Can be. Can he bulk up? For sure. Does he lose speed? I doubt it. Does he have the moves out there as an edge? For sure. Can he set the edge? Absolutely. Is he good against the run? Absolutely. Did he play against top tier talent? Well, that's the question mark, right? And so when I think about this kid, Mike Green, who's going to be the pick for the 49ers, and then I'm going to try to slow this down because I do potentially want to try to trade back up. So let me draft my player. Hopefully it didn't mess anything up, because once you make changes to PFF, it gets kind of stagnant. All right, so Mike Green to me would be a solid pick for the San Francisco 49ers. You give Nick Bosa help on the outside as an edge rusher. I do understand the red flags. That stuff happened many moons ago. He's been cleared from all of that stuff. He played college football at Marshall. He gave you the best season as an edge rusher at Marshall. Will the 49ers somehow look past his past and focus on the present, and he become part of the future for the San Francisco 49ers? In my opinion, I say yes. You take a flyer on that. Is he a risk? Slightly. But he did play a complete season at Marshall and gave you zero problems, and he spoke about it, which means it's nothing 9 times out of 10. So I know there's red flags there. I know the faithful are like, no, you don't draft that type of player, things like that. Okay, I get it. Trust me. Trust me, I get it. It has to speed up a little bit. That's a little too slow for my liking. All right. So when I'm and then Jalen Walker went. So and that's a perfect spot to me for Tampa. But I wouldn't mind moving back up to getting that tackle. We talked about getting that tackle, right? And so what would it cost for the 49ers to trade, to move back up to get let's see, a kind of like a late round pick, maybe with the Commanders. They've done work with the Commanders before. I'm sure the Ravens don't want to trade. Denver Broncos, I don't know if they take a tackle. The Chargers might go offensive line here. I think you kind of play it out and just see who kind of lands. And look, the Broncos went with the guy. That is so funny. That is so funny. And so at this point, I'm going to play it out, right? At this point, I'm just going to play it out. Oh, man, the Ravens took Shamar Stewart. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So we're not looking to move back up into the first round. It was definitely a possibility. And now we're going to see who's going to fall around that 43 pick where we're on the clock, all right? And Jets took Tyler Booker. And this is kind of like falling to where I think the Niners, this is kind of working in the Niners' favor of where they want to go defensively. So we've addressed the edge. We can definitely look to invest in the offensive line. But again, as far as offensive line, I'm not really looking to get anybody that's going to start, day one. But if I can get a top tier 100 talent offensive lineman to come in and compete, to possibly take somebody's job, that's another conversation. But I am looking at a defensive player from the University of South Carolina. And the way the board fell for us in this particular mock draft is so dope, right? Because now I'm looking for the 3-tech. Those are the type of defensive tackles that the Niners like the 3-tech defensive tackles. When I look at TJ Sanders, I know I'm going to get size. So I'm going to get 290, 6'4", 290, a little under the 300-pound mark. All right. Now I can't look up his combine weight just to see how much he's grown from PFF, which is what I'm going to do. So just looking at Sanders, he is 297, so he's a little bit heavier. He's sub 300 pounds, kind of like in the same area as Mason Graham, right? Same area as Mason Graham. But here's what I like: the pass rush win rate is there, 12.6% from an interior guy. Now the highest pass rush win rate is Omar Norman Lott, and so I'm not saying he's a 4-down player or whatever, but definitely for a rotational piece, if the Niners wanted to try to really gear up and build this defensive line for sure. But I like TJ Sanders because what he can give you in a true set pass rushing. Look at his true set pass rush grade. We're talking about true sets, no play actions, all that type of stuff. He's just there, man. He's going to get there. And he's solid against the run. I mean, I think that's what you get. I haven't talked much about TJ Sanders because I've been in Walter Nolan camp. But now this young gentleman is falling to me. And I think this could be a potential steal in the draft. And it's tough because, like I said, there's 3 Gamecocks on here. I think the 49ers need a sideline-to-sideline linebacker in Demetrius Knight Jr. I think the 49ers could use another Thunderbolt safety in Nick Emmanwori. Where do the Niners go? I think they show up the front. They have 2 safeties in Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa. They have those guys. They continue to build. I think they draft the safety, but just later on in the draft, and it's unfortunate. But the pick is in for me, and it's going to be TJ Sanders, defensive tackle from South Carolina. And no, I didn't make any trades, right? So I didn't trade back because I found there was a guy, the player that I like on my big board that I think is going to be on the 49ers big board was available. So it didn't make sense to trade back. Now we do pick 75, and if we can move back a couple of spots and possibly get like a pick 101, I think 101, I think we have the second to last pick in the third round. We'll see what happens. Like I don't mind, but it all depends on who's available. Now see, I wanted to go corner here, and so did the Panthers. So the corner would have been the spot that I would have looked into. Now we've definitely showed up the defensive front, right? We got an edge rusher, we got an interior guy. Now it's time to kind of look into the offensive side. I am going to check to see which trades are available. Do I mind sliding out of? I definitely don't want to give up 75 to get pick 109. Like that makes any sense. So these trades don't really make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they want me to give up 75. I would try to get all the rest of their picks. So I don't want to give up 75 just to gain an early fourth round pick. I don't know if that makes sense. But here's the thing, like there will be some players that are going to fall to the San Francisco 49ers. Like there's going to be players that fall out of the top 100 that are still top 100 players, and at pick 109 that's not bad, but again, I'm not willing to give up 75 to get that. So let's just see who's available. Benjamin Morrison is going to be probably a great corner. My issues with him is he's returning from the injury, and I just don't want to take a flyer on him this early, and it's the third round, so it might not consider being early. But for me, I don't want to take a flyer on that position this early. I am looking to go offensive line here if I can. All right, if I can. Now, I do love CJ West. I know there's a need for a linebacker, but let me just check and see which linebackers are available. Love Chris Paul, Pooh. We call him Pooh Paul. All right, I love him. He's a dope sideline to sideline. Mike linebacker too, man. He has it. Doesn't have that sideline that's 40 speed, but definitely has that general on the football field type thing. Now, if you're looking for the speed from a linebacker, Jeffrey Boss is there. All right. If you're looking for high production as far as tackling and linebacking, Kobe King is down there. So I don't necessarily feel like I need to reach for a linebacker here for the 49ers. I could go athletic tight end and Terrence Ferguson. I feel like my defense is pretty shored up. I think offensive line is where I want to go. At pick 75, I do like Jarrett Wilson. You guys know how much I think the San Francisco 49ers need a center, but I do want to see which guys are available. Now, the Niners like to draft players, in my opinion, that can play multiple positions up front. And when I look at Jonah Savanea, I feel like that's a 49er. Why? Big, mauling type of a player. Pass block rate is good. He has to work on his run blocking. I understand Niners want run blocking, but look where he can play. He could play tackle. He could play both tackles. He could be a swing tackle. He can also play guard, right? And that's something that, at the Senior Bowl, this is where he took his reps, mainly as a guard, all right? He does move well. He's very athletic. He tested well at the NFL Combine, and that's what I liked about him. Like, he tested very well. 6'5", 336. Kid is ridiculously strong, right? Like the strength of him is like 10 men. I think that's what I want up front. Now, I do see my guy Jarrett Wilson here, and like you see Jarrett Wilson is like, how do you pass up on the center? I think for me, when it comes to Jarrett Wilson, you're gonna get the most athletic offensive lineman in the draft. He does have reps at guard though, so like, do I pass up? Do I go with him to where he could play guard, he could play center, or do I go with the guy that can play tackle, that could play guard? And I think either way, you're going to look to get a versatile offensive lineman. That's what you're going to look to get. Now, these offensive linemen are screaming at me right now, but at pick 75, I don't want to reach for a guy. Love Charles Grant. He is one of my sleeper guys. I feel like Charles Grant is definitely going to be really good, especially in the run game. Like, that's where he is amazing. Gets out, gets out in the run game, kicks out, able to get out to the second level with the speed, with the power, and he's gonna be a problem, right? But I don't know. I feel like he's gonna go first round. I just don't know if I want to go there at 75. And he doesn't give you the versatility as some of the other guys do. So do I go with the versatile center that could play guard, or do I go with the versatile tackle that can play guard? That's going to be kind of like the question. I think the biggest needed upgrade for the 49ers offensive line is the center position. So my pick is in. It's going to be Jarrett Wilson, center out of Georgia. All right, now, since I didn't make any trades, we're going to move this up to fast if we can. So we're going to speed this up just a tad bit. All right, and we're gonna get it popping. And you can see like these guys that I like are gone, right? Like, like I did not lie. The Rams took Charles Grant. The Chargers went Jonah Savanea, right? Like these are guys that I really have high on my board. Like I'm not even going to stunt with you. All right, I'm keeping it 1,000. Listen, if you want a fuller breakdown where I'll go through their stats, I go through their accomplishments and stuff, man, make sure you go ahead and sign up to my Patreon, all right? Patreon.com/ the WayneBreezie, all right? And then you just join the Patreon, believe it's the $5 tier, and you will be able to watch the breakdown of every mock draft that I've done right here, all right? And you can get more full in depth. All right, I'm on the clock. This is the round of the running back, right? This is the third round of the running back. Now, I think running backs go a little bit deeper than the position. And I see that there's a player available that I feel like the 49ers need. All right. Now, do they need to go running back? No. Do they need to go wide receiver? No. Do I want them to go wide receiver? Yes. Do I think they go wide receiver? Depends on who's available. And with Jalen Noel out of Iowa State being available, when you're looking for a wide receiver with great 40 speed, could move from the sideline to sideline, had top speed on the drills at the NFL Combine, it's Jalen Noel. Top speed means that it's football speed, right? They're playing at football speed. They're not losing speed, and they're not focused on running as fast as they can. They're focused on running as fast as they can and being as accurate and productive as they can at the same time. And Jalen Noel was one of the top speed wide receivers at the NFL Combine. That's important. So when you look at guys like Puka Nacua, you look at these types of players, they ran that gauntlet drill to the T, right? Jalen Noel, great hands. You can see he only had 4 drops last year, forced 3 missed tackles. But look at his targets and look at his receptions. Look at the yardage, 8 touchdowns. Kid can get open. Kid runs great routes. The pick is in for me. The final third pick for the 49ers, the last top 100 guy that they get in this draft, which it doesn't say that it's a super need, but I know the Niners, Brandon Ayuk, going to probably miss half of the season. That was the report that came out. Jalen Noel would be a nice addition early. You factor in Ricky Pearsall, you factor in some Jalen Noel. Of course, Juwan Jennings will be leading the crew, and then maybe we get a little bit more deep threat from Jacob Cowing this year. It's going to be pretty fun. So just going back up just to quickly look, and I can see my linebacker is gone, my cornerback is gone, one of my top 5 corners are gone. Where can the Niners go? Do they go top player? Do they look to double up at some positions? It's a possibility. Or do they go and attack a need? We're in round 4, and I feel like one of these picks it's going to be the running back. And looking at the running backs, I feel like they're really heavily into Jaden Blue, or Jadon. Bayshell Tootin was a high pick, fastest running back in the draft. But when you're looking at, in the draft, the Brashard Smith, former wide receiver, turned into a running back, sounds like he'll be what do we call it? A wide back, I guess. So if you're looking for the pass production from a running back as well as a running back, and Brashard Smith out of SMU, met him at the NFL. I met him at the Senior Bowl. That's where I met him. Really good kid. And he did really well at the Senior Bowl. When I look at Brashard Smith, I feel like he's going kind of like under the radar. I don't know why. Ran a 4.39. Ran a 4.39. Not too many ticks off. From Bayshell Tootin. Jaden Blue, I ran at his pro day. He ran at the combine. I think it was a 4.38 or 4.3. Let me see what he was. He's a 4.38, but then he's a 4.28. And some clock got him at a 4.25. So I think, but 4.28 at the NFL at the pro day. So speed is there. Faster than two, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and just say Kyle and give Kyle his running back in round 4. It's not round 3. They drafted Isaac Garendo last year in round 4. I think giving these weapons, providing the weapons for the quarterback of the future, which is Brock Purdy, obviously, I think this is a spot on, situation. I think you go ahead. We got him a wide receiver to build with. We get him another running back. Christian McCaffrey won't be around. You get a guy that can play the McCaffrey role, and Jaden Blue from Texas. I think it'd be a solid pick for the 49ers. All right, we're back on the clock, and we have another round 4 pick, and I feel like this is, I think they go and look for that, what safeties are available. I think it's time to start kind of like looking to see if they grab a safety early, if they like a guy. I like Billy Bowman Jr. I don't know, I think he would be a solid piece for the San Francisco 49ers. Coverage grade is good. You're getting him in the 4th. What is he really great at? I mean, just coverage. I just feel like that's his thing, right? He's okay against the run, but you put him in coverage and you're not going to catch balls on him. He's forced 3 incompletions. He got 2 interceptions. This is what he does. Like, he's a coverage safety, so he's going to play back there in the box. He also has 4.4 speed, so he would be the fastest safety for the 49ers. Now, he does have a lot of missed tackles and things like that. That's something you have to look into. Would that be a reach at pick 138? Possibly. We can always look to trade back a couple of spots if we wanted to gain more picks. I really don't want the Niners to draft more than 11 players. I do want to keep that in. I don't want 13. I've done 13, 14. Nah, that's too many. I think the Niners either 11 or less. I think that's the route that they go in this particular draft, all right? That's just the route that they go. Don't really see a trade that I like. Just a quick recap. We didn't get a tackle. I don't see why Chase Lunt is not higher on the board for a lot of people. All right, look, when you draft in a tackle, later in the draft, they're going to have some, I would say, flaws, right? But here's what I love about Chase Lunt. He's probably one of the best run blocking tackles in this draft. So he's not bad in pass blocking, but he does give you the Mike McGlinchey vibes, right? He does give you the vibes. Now, I'm looking to get him for the future, all right? So we went offensive line. We got a center. And I'm looking to get a guy that I know could come in and could kind of give me some type of, combination of tackle, guard. And he played really well, in my opinion. Now, he's 6'8", if I'm not mistaken. 6'8", 305 pounds. The kid can move. If run blocking is it, he's better. Let's just say coming out of college, he's better than Mike McGlinchey in run blocking. I feel like Colton McKivitz he's a kind of better pass protecting tackle than he is run blocking. And I feel like where the Niners are missing, they're missing that mauler, that guy out there at the tackle position that could get out to the second level. All right. Now, I did not address the tight end yet. I think there's some value. I can get a tight end. I feel like there's some guys I like. I didn't go safety here, but I do want to shore up the offensive line for the future. I don't really feel like McKivitz is going to be part of the future, and some of the other guys like Nick Zakel and those guys. But you bring in an athletic tackle here, I think that would be a solid pick for the 49ers, all right? And again, I'm trying to make this as most realistic as possible, right? Like, I think that's the key to this particular mock draft. So when you watch it, let me know. All right, let me know. All right, so we've done edge, we've done interior, we've got 2 offensive line players. So we've addressed the trenches. Now it's time to really start to like the turkey is stuffed and full, and now it's time to put on the trimmings, right? The dressings, right? And we did. We offensively, I feel like we're done. Like, can we look for a tight end? Yes. Will we look for a tight end? Yes. But in the 5th round with these 2 5th-round picks, these are where you could find, I guess, this is where I like to find hidden gems, right? Now, I didn't get a linebacker yet, and I feel like linebacker over safety is important right now because I'm trying to figure out which linebacker can give me production, tackles. That's what I'm looking for. And I see a few linebackers here. Now, this might be a reach for Kobe King. Danny Stutzman is there, but Danny Stutzman is more of your Mike linebacker. He's kind of stiff, doesn't move lateral well, but Kobe King does. Kobe King moves very well laterally, and you can see, like, he's not your pass rushing linebacker. You're not going to use him to blitz. That's not where he's strong. He did have 14 missed tackles though. But he's going to be around the ball, and I think that's what you get. He also has 74 tackles and 31 assisted tackles, so his tackling thing is up there. Now, as far as him in coverage, he's not going to be the best coverage guy, but if the guy's not breaking away from him, cool. But as far as stopping the run, that's what you're going to get. Like, you're going to get that out of Kobe King. Is this too rich for Kobe King? I can tell you right now, if I don't go Kobe King here, which is the young, speedy linebacker, 6'1", 248. Did Kobe King, just trying to see at the linebacking spot, did he run? No. And I don't know if I have his pro day comps yet, but I mean pro day stats. Anyway, I do like Kobe King, and I don't think this is a reach. But if you go with the most athletic linebacker to me in this draft, it's Teddy Buchanan out of Cal. Now, this might be a reach to get him right here, but he's 6'2", 235. All right. Loved what he did at his pro day as well. So don't have to go linebacker, but I really feel like I want to shore up and get a guy. We drafted Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round. I kind of think Kobe King would be a 5th round. Now, I could try to get him at 160, but him being the next linebacker up, I feel like he'll be gone, and I don't want to take that chance. So a little bit of a reach, possibly, for Kobe King linebacker. All right. And look, my safety is still there. Like, how realistic or cool is this? I said I wanted to get a safety in the 5th round. I thought I would address the safety in the 7th round, which I can. I've got my wide receiver. As much as I love Kyle Williams and the way he routes up guys, I won't go there again. But there is a safety that I do feel like the San Francisco 49ers would absolutely love. I do love the big Nick Nash, though. He's big type of wide receiver. It's total opposite of what we have. Kind of like the Dre Greenlaw. I mean, the Juwan Jennings route. But I'll see if he's still available once I get to. He's going to be going. Now, we don't have any 6th round picks, so I want people to remember, once we draft here, we are off the clock for a long time until we get to that 7th round. It's going to be a long time, so we need to make this next pick last forever, like Keith Sweat used to say. So my pick is in, though. I talked about the safety, Billy Bowman, and Keaton Crawford is there too from Nevada. You could try to look if the 49ers didn't go safety in round 5, right? And they don't have a 6th round pick, which you know what? Let me see. I don't want to trade out. If anything, I wanted to move up, right? That would have been the key. I don't want to trade out. So yeah, so I feel like the San Francisco 49ers, Billy Bowman will be the pick, but there are some other guys. Now I didn't go tight end here, all right? And that could be an issue. Fedone is there. Jalen Conyers is there. I didn't put the pick in for Billy Bowman. I do feel like I can get a safety in the 7th round, but my tight ends are going to be gone. Jalen Conyers is going to be the pick. I'm trading up my pick. I'm trading the pick out, swapping the pick. I'm going Jaden Conyers. I didn't know he was still available, and I'm glad I checked the pool. All right, so there we go. I've addressed San Francisco 49ers. Now, with Jalen Conyers, you're going to get athleticism. You're going to get good hands. He's a decent inline blocking for his run blocking, but he's known to make plays. And the 49ers have a top 30 visit with him. They've had private workouts with him. They've met with him at just about every single occasion. He sounds like he's going to be a guy on the board. So this would be your guy that could give you the complementary piece to what George Kittle does, and he can block, right? So it's not like you're just getting a one-stop tight end, right? So you're getting a guy with athleticism and that can do things. And I really feel like the 49ers are looking for the Jordan Reed version of the tight end. They have the George Kittle. Now they need that kind of, route running, good feet moving, find ways to get open type of tight end. I think Jalen Conyers provides that. All right, so with 3 picks left in the 7th round, and I promise we'll speed this all the way up as far as turbo goes, we've addressed, to me, in my opinion, every need. Every need has been addressed, all right? We went edge, we went interior. We got 2 people to fall to us. We didn't have to search, they fell. We didn't have to trade, they fell. I know that I like to trade in these mock drafts, but we didn't have to. Then we were able to address the offensive line, not once, but twice. I think getting a center for the future was important. We also got some trimmings for the offense. We got a wide receiver, and we got a talented running back, right? So you're looking to move past, you're looking to put Jalen Noel in, not as a stopgap, but you want to use him. You want to be able to utilize him, right? So giving Brock Purdy more weapons. Jaden Blue would be a perfect change of pace, not change of pace, but he gives you the speed. He's faster than even Garindo's, and he's good outside. Once he gets outside, he's gone. He understands zone running. And I'll break all of these down on the Patreon, I promise. And then we, chase loans. So we addressed the trenches. Then defensively, we went and got ourselves a linebacker. All right. And then we went back offensive line. Now, this is the round I'm going to get me a safety. I feel like the Niners are going to look to get a safety in this round. Now, RJ Mickens is there. Jordan Hancock can play corner, can play safety out of Ohio State. Ran very fast at his pro day. Very good coverage guy. Great in the run defense. Like would be a steal in the 7th round, right? Would be a steal. Malachi Moore from Alabama. I don't know why he's not being talked about more, but I'm not passing up on this Craig Woodson guy, right? I see him there. I want to go with a Bear. Archie Mickens is there too. Ooh, Jesus Christmas. Look, I'm looking for size and speed. So 6 feet 210 from Mickens. Size and speed. That's what I'm looking for. Let me look at my safeties chart. Now, if you guys want my charts, it's only going to cost you $1 again on the Patreon. So if you want to sign up and you just want charts, you don't want any in the videos because you don't like my videos, that's fine. You guys can go to Patreon where you can just get my charts and they're all highlighted, color coded, and you can get all the data that you need. I put in a lot of strenuous hours putting this stuff together. The Patreon's down there, man. Just go to that link, $1, give your email, click on the link where the chart is posted, and then boom, 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 put your email in there. I'll grant you the access so you can see the charts that I'm looking at. And so right now, this is my NFL Combine chart. And, I'm looking at it just to test to see where Woodson ran a 4.45 at the Combine. Yeah, sign me up. Mickens, and remember, I wanted to go Billy Bowman Jr. earlier, and Billy Bowman Jr. ran a 4.42. So that to me is where I'm looking for the 49ers to gather, some speed at the position and the guys that can play deep, right? Guys that can play deep. I was looking for Mickens. Mickens ran a 4.49, 1.55 split. But Craig Woodson, for some reason, is standing out to me. So my pick is in. First 7th round pick of the draft, Craig Woodson. Now, this may be the best mock draft that I've done that just seems the most realistic. I didn't trade any players. I didn't trade any picks. And I think I'm going to get all 11 picks. That's just the way that the cookie is falling or crumbling for me. I'm getting all 11 picks, all right? So we're still in the 7th round. We got 2 picks left. And this is where you're looking for players, in my opinion, that can give you special teams. So in the 7th round, 3 positions that I would look to draft, right? Wide receiver, linebacker, and corner, right? These are why special teams guys, right? And so I'm looking for a speedy linebacker. I'm looking for a guy that can provide straight speed, good tackling ability to get down there. Look at his missed tackle rate, right? And so I'm going to go with this kid from Georgia, Smile Mondon Jr. And the reason why I'm going with him is because I feel like he's a hell of an athlete, right? Hell of an athlete, provides speed. He has the fastest 40 time at the NFL Combine for linebackers. He ran a 4.46 as linebackers. Now, I think D. Winters was like 4.53, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. But I feel like Smile is a much better. He'll be a much better special teams player. And this is what the 49ers need. They need to be able to replace and regenerate what they might lose, because D. Winters might be taking that step up to becoming the weak side linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. And so I see Smile right here. The pick is in for me. Smile Mondon Jr. out of Georgia. I wasn't going to let this draft be complete without a Georgia guy, right? Like, without a Georgia guy. And again, like, I got a linebacker with speed, 4.4 guy, right? And that's what I wanted. And so now I'm looking to add more speed. Like 7th round, what can they do if they had to come into the game? Can they be beneficial? For me, I'm looking for guys that can give me some depth. And I'm looking for guys that can also provide some speed. Now, the Niners have Tanner Mordecai. Okay. And I feel like in the 7th round, if they're going to go quarterback here. And I don't know why Graham Mertz seems like he's going to be the guy. I just feel like he's going to be the guy. Don't know why. I just feel like he's going to be a guy that the 49ers are interested in. And it's because of the completion percentage. He's hell of efficient to me, right? And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for efficiency grade. Now, he doesn't have the deep pass, like super strong, kind of struggles under pressure. I mean, most quarterbacks do. You know, I love me the Seth Hennigan. And this is the guy that I would draft if I'm the San Francisco 49ers. I'm looking for a tough kid. He's the typical size, 6'3", 215. And you know, I'm going to do this, and I don't want people to get mad, but I'm going to address the hand size. And if he has 9-inch hands, I don't know what Brock Purdy hand size is. I feel like it's 8 and something, but hey, it's a little bit bigger than Purdy, so I feel like Seth Hennigan would be the quarterback that the 49ers should draft. I feel like the guy they're going to go with, though, is Graham Mertz out of Florida. Just competition, school, all that type of stuff. Do I think they should draft a quarterback? Yes. You want to bring in somebody that's going to be able to compete for that spot. If Tanner Mordecai is the guy who is on the practice squad, cool, but if you could bring in and draft a quarterback, save you a few dollars, whatever like that, I think that'd be the way to go. For me, it's Hennigan over Mertz, but I just feel like the Niners are going to go with Mertz. But I'm going to make an executive decision and go Seth Hennigan here. All right, so the pick is in, and the draft will be complete. And just to do a quick recap, because I've kept you guys for over 40 minutes, here's the mock draft. All right, here's the mock draft. Now, they gave me some C minuses, which is interesting. Got an F on the tight end, so solid B. But realistically, what do you guys think? I mean, when we went edge, I addressed the trenches on both sides of the ball, and maybe I reached for a couple of positions due to where I was drafting and where I was going to be drafting next. And yeah, I could have tried to force trades or do things like that, but I didn't think it made any sense when I saw players available that I believe are going to be on the 49ers big board. So Mike Green, TJ Sanders, to me, solid picks. I think pick 75, drafting a center at pick 75 is, for the algorithm, is probably bad. But if you look at it from the mindset of where I think the 49ers are looking at it, if they go athleticism, if they go with good pass protection, creating a run blocking game, I think 75 on a center is not bad. They did draft Dominic Pooney last year in the 3rd round where they went with the tackle guard combo or guard tackle combo. But now you can go with the center guard combo, right? For me, should I went tackle early? Yeah, because that's what they said. They said that I needed a guard or a tackle early, and I get why the grade is bad. Jalen Noel, A-. Jadon Blue, got him 15 picks earlier. Probably could have waited and got Brashard Smith a little bit later in the draft. But I just feel like this kid, he's been tied to the Niners. He's a Niners. He just feels like a Niner, in my opinion. Chase Lunt, tackle out of UConn or Connecticut. Kobe King, linebacker from Penn State. Another player that I reached up and get. He was projected to go 163. I got him at 157. Conyers, I picked, 39 picks ahead of where he was projected. But again, I didn't draft into the 7th. I wasn't drafting in the 6th round. And I could have traded back, but I didn't want more picks. You know, I didn't want to have several picks, and I would have given up some of those 7th round picks, and potentially, you know, I would have gave up some 7th round picks. But I do like this draft. I think this draft overall is pretty solid. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the show. Let me know what you guys would have done a little differently. I'm all open to criticism and feedback. You know, this has been a really good mock drafting season for the San Francisco 49ers, for me, for the 49ers, and I definitely appreciate all the comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll be back next week for another mock draft Monday. All right, appreciate you guys. Keep it faithful to the Bay, and I'm out. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.